Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bronco Garage. I'm Monster Mike, and today we have John Melton from Nashville Early Bronco back with us to show you the top 5 things that you need to know before installing your James Duff 2-in-1 exhaust and the headers.
That's right, this is the stuff that we have just learned from the time since we have installed it. This is the stuff that we've learned just from hearing the feedback from you guys and just kind of seeing how it all goes together.
Right.
So the first thing that you want to know, that you need to know, you cannot run this 2-in-1 exhaust with a stock height Bronco. You need at least 2 inches of suspension lift. Now, why is that, Michael?
Well, there's a crossover pipe from the driver's side that comes underneath the transmission, and it gets really close to the drive shaft. So without that 2 inches, you're gonna hit. Yep.
So there's so many components that go into this kit. There's so many things, like, again, this is a universal kit for all of these Broncos with different lifts, different engines, the 351, the 302, different transmissions. So just keep that in mind. If you want to run this kit, you need at least 2 inches of suspension lift.
Excited to tell you guys that this fits the AX15, which also is the NV3550. Same transmission, just labeled differently. The big thing there is that you need to make sure you have the right cross member. Now the cross member will come with the AX15 or the NV3550 if you buy it all as a kit from one of the vendors, and it's made by Advanced Adapters. That universal crossmember that comes with it is very important to working with the James Duff 2-in-1 exhaust system.
And the reason that that's important is because a lot of you are the DIY kind of guys. Right. You are the homebrew. You are like pulling, you know, transfer cases and adapters out of whatever you can find. And so it's important just to note that you need the Advanced Adapters AX15 cross member.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of guys like to yard their own transmissions out, and it's like, yeah, I'm saving so much money, and then you fab something up that you got in the corner. Hold on a second. 2-in-1's not going to work with that.
So the third thing is the Stage 8 locking fasteners. Now these, paired with the Remflex header gaskets, are a game changer, and we'll put a link in the description below where you can pick up a set of these. It has this little hex style head where you can get an Allen wrench in there, you can get a ball head Allen wrench. It makes it super easy to tighten these down to spec. It's impossible to get a socket on these right here. I mean, look at that. There's no socket that'll fit around that. So these bolts are amazing and definitely recommend them. Pick up a set when you're getting the 2-in-1 exhaust.
All right, so the next problem that we encountered is the fasteners that hold the collector adapter to the collector flange on your header. So, you know, this is a really cool style. It's a ball flange, so it's gasketless. And you can really move this around and manipulate it. But this serrated nut can only be used a few times before the serrated part stops working. When you put these together, you want to put the washer on the bolt side, the bolt head side, and then you want to hold this with your wrench and tighten from the bolt side. Once you've got it tight and where you want it, you're going to come back and just do a 1/4 turn on the flange, and that's going to lock it in. It's that serrated edge is actually going to stop it from backing back off. But then remember when you go back and you need to loosen this, you want to loosen it from the bolt head, because then you won't scrub all the serrated off and it won't loosen back out on you while you're driving.
So for all of you EFI guys who are running the wideband O2 sensor on your collector, on your header, something that is super important is this exhaust paste or joint and crack sealer. Now the thing that is so critical with this is with that wideband O2 sensor, you can't have any fresh air coming into your exhaust system within like 17 inches of your O2 sensor. Right. So it's super important that you make sure everything is super sealed as you're putting this kit together. Now for you guys who are running the carburetor, it's not as critical, it's not as important to have a, you know, flawless seal. But man, with the EFI, with the wideband O2 sensor, it really jacks up your AFR reading, and it can just cause a bunch of issues with your system. So this stuff is awesome. You basically just put it on there, you tighten it down.
Most of the components are going to be metal on metal. There's not going to be any type of gasket that seals them together. So that's why this is like your gasket sealer.
And it's made to heat up. So like as time goes on, you're supposed to like run this at idle, let it get up to temperature, let it cure. Like there's an actual curing process with this, and then it hardens and seals. So this is really good stuff and very important for you EFI guys.
A lot of this great tech and advice came from one of the builders that we work real closely with, Tom Hyde over at Lick Creek Restoration. He has been a Phytech expert now for ever since it came out.
Yeah.
And because of that, he's learned a lot and passed that knowledge on to us.
Yep. Big shout out to Tom Hyde. If you guys haven't checked out his Facebook page at Lick Creek Restorations, check that out. Put a link in the description below. And if you have any Phytech questions, you know, just give him a call. We'll put his cell phone number down in the description.
Once we're friends, but not anymore.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully that helps you in your purchasing of the 2-in-1 exhaust kit, answers some of the questions that might be out there. And thank you guys so much for your feedback. Those of you who have installed this system. I think that's it.
Yeah, and honestly, thanks everyone for coming to the Bronco Garage. Don't forget to like the page, follow us, and comment below. We want to see what you guys are doing, what you're working on. We'll catch you next time.
So guys.